stunned silence. These weren't polite sporting audiences. They were participants, emotionally invested in the chaos unfolding inches from the ropes. This emotional connection is why so many of these fights feel larger than life even now. They weren't just contests. They were confrontations with scale, fear, and expectation. Watching someone overcome a physical disadvantage, that extreme felt symbolic, almost mythic. It tapped into something primal, the idea that intelligence, courage, or timing could overcome brute force. But for every giant that fell, there were others who learned to impose themselves more effectively. They began cutting off the ring, leaning their weight, forcing clinches, and turning size into exhaustion. Smaller fighters found themselves drowning, trapped under bodies that felt impossible to move. Referees hovered closer. Corners shouted louder. The line between dominance and disaster blurred. And that's where controversy often entered the picture. Late stoppages, missed knockdowns, gloves touching the canvas unnoticed. In a cleaner era, these moments would spark outrage. Back then, they became part of the story. Imperfection was expected. Human error was accepted. It added to the sense that anything could happen, including things that maybe shouldn't. Media coverage reflected that chaos. Commentary wasn't polished analysis, it was reaction. Writers struggled to frame what they'd just seen in traditional language. How do you explain a 7-foot fighter being dropped by a perfectly timed hook from someone half his size? You didn't analyze it. You replayed it, over and over. As promotions grew, they tried to capture that lightning again. Tournaments were designed to accelerate violence. One-night formats forced exhaustion into the equation. Giants faced multiple fights in a single evening, their size becoming both weapon and liability as fatigue piled up. By the final rounds, even the most intimidating figures looked fragile. These tournaments produced moments that felt almost cruel. Fighters limped back to corners, faces swollen, lungs burning, still expected to go out and perform. But audiences loved it, not because they wanted to see suffering, but because it felt real. There was no illusion of safety. Victory demanded a visible cost. Looking back, it's easy to criticize the